Hello there, Math 5. This is your first math lesson online. I want to remind you of the date. It is March 30th, 2020. So this is what you're looking for. Make sure you're on the correct video. And today we're doing lesson 114 for Math 5. Oops. So you want to make sure that you're in the correct lesson and doing it in the correct order, okay? So if you want to, you can look in your Math 5 book where you have your worksheets, and you can go ahead and tear lesson 114 out, but I want you to set it to the side and not work on it until I'm done teaching, okay? I'm going to do it darker. Okay, so when we left off, we had been multiplying fractions. If we go way back, if you remember, we were adding and subtracting fractions, and we had to find common denominators. And then we got to multiply fractions, and we were really excited about that, because when we multiply fractions, we just multiply straight across the top. Do you remember that? Okay. Then we learned how to reduce top and bottom, and then cross-reduce. Do you remember how to cross-reduce? Okay, so we worked on that for a little while. Then we started into dividing fractions, and if you will remember, in dividing fractions, we had the rule, keep it, change it, flip it. Okay, now if you remember, keep it, of course, is to keep the first fraction exactly the same. And then change it means that we're changing the sign from division to multiplication. And then flip it is an easy word for the word reciprocal. Remember, reciprocal is when we simply flip it. So if we had 4/5, the reciprocal would be 5/4. Okay, so those were our rules. Keep it, change it, flip it. You guys really liked this. Well, we're going to continue on doing those kinds of problems. So let's just go ahead and look at the first problem. Let's see, that they have for us. Let's do number 1 together, which is 4/6 divided by 4. Okay? So when I look at this problem, there's a couple of things that I need to do. First of all, I need to see that I need fractions. So I need to change that. How do I change a whole number to a fraction? Simply by putting it over 1, right? Because 4 divided by 1 is 4, and I haven't changed the problem. Okay? So the next thing that I also see that I can do is I can reduce this fraction, can't I? Okay, so I can say 4 divided by 2 equals 2. And 6 divided by 2 equals 3. So 2/3. Okay? So divided by 4/1. Okay? So now that we have simplified this problem, we can do keep it, change it, flip it. So we keep this fraction, keep it the same. Okay? Change the sign to multiplication, flip or do the reciprocal of the last one. Keep it, change it, flip it. And then we get to multiply across. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, now we have to look at our answer. Can we reduce our answer? Absolutely. You can see that both the top and the bottom can divide by 2. So I divide by 2. Whatever I do to the top, I need to do to the bottom. 2 divided by 2 equals 1. 12 divided by 2 equals 6. So the answer is 1/6. Okay, so I'm trying to see if there's anything on here that we need to work on. Let's just jump down and let's do one more practice problem before I cut you loose. Let's do another one, which is 10 divided by 2/3. Okay, and if you'll look, that's number 11 on your work. Okay, so I see that I have a whole number. I want to go ahead and put it over 1. Okay, now I want to keep it, change the sign, flip it. Okay, now I want to look. Can I reduce this way? Yes, will it reduce? No. Okay, it's simplified. Will this reduce? No. Okay, so remember, this is where we look at cross-reducing. And remember, that makes it a lot easier to deal with in the answer. So let's look at 10 and 2. Will that reduce? Yes, they will both divide by 2. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. And 2 divided by 2 is 1. Okay, so let's clean this problem up. Let's go ahead and look here. Can we cross-reduce this way, 3 and 1? No. Okay, so let's go ahead and clean it up. 5 over 1 times 3 over 1 equals 5 times 3 is 15 over 1. Now, do I need to keep the over 1? No, I can solve this problem by saying 15 divided by 1 equals what? 15. And 15 is my answer. Okay. If you will look at your worksheet and flip over the page, you have some word problems there. I want you to give a try, and then you can talk to me on Marco Polo if you're having trouble. And then on number 16, it says complete the rule. It says rule, and then do you see that little dot in 1/2? Remember, there are a couple ways we can write multiplication. We can use this symbol or this symbol, can't we? We can actually even use 2 parentheses side by side. Okay, so this just means multiplication. So on 16, we take whatever the x is. So in the first box, it's 1/3, right? And then we complete the rule. X times 1/2. So what would we do there? We would say 1/3 is the x times 1/2. Now, do we need to keep it, change it, flip it on this? No, so make sure that you're paying attention to whether you're multiplying or you're dividing. So with this, we can just multiply across, and we would get 1/6, and it will not reduce. So that's what would go in that first box in number 16. Okay, so give those a try. And you guys should do great. You're doing really good at this, but remember that you have Marco Polo. So when you Marco Polo me, make sure that you tell me what number you're needing help with, or you can even show me on the page. All right, and we'll see you for your next subject.